Hello everyone, this is Kik and today we have an exciting lineup. A Japanese generative model that tried to change its own code. Elon Musk introducing the new AI model Grok 2. Google releasing the updated image generator Imagen 3. The electric hypercar McMurtry setting 2 world records. England beginning to use iPhones to determine offsides. The US Air Force receiving the first passenger eVTOL midnight. And Martian rock samples confirming that Jezero Crater once had a lake. All this and more right now. Let's go. We're starting today's episode with the Tokyo-based research company Sakana AI, which has introduced an artificial intelligence system called the AI Scientist. Sakana AI developed the AI Scientist in collaboration with researchers from Oxford University and the University of British Columbia. The concept behind it is to automate the entire scientific research cycle, from generating new ideas and writing code to conducting experiments, analyzing data, and preparing scientific publications. However, during its operation, it was discovered that the AI could behave quite strangely. Researchers noticed that the AI scientist could exhibit odd behavior. In one experiment, the system made changes to its code that led to a recursive call of itself. The script ended up running in an infinite loop, causing an uncontrolled increase in Python processes and eventually requiring manual intervention. In another instance, the model modified the code to save a checkpoint at every step, consuming a terabyte of storage. Sometimes experiments took too long, reaching a timeout limit. Instead of speeding up the code, the system tried to alter it to extend the waiting period. The AI scientist also occasionally imported unfamiliar Python libraries, further complicating security issues. Although the AI scientist's behavior didn't pose an immediate threat in a controlled research environment, these incidents highlight the importance of preventing autonomous AI systems from operating in environments not isolated from the outside world. AI models don't need to have general artificial intelligence or self-awareness to pose a danger. It's enough to let them write and execute code independently. Such systems can disrupt the functioning of critical infrastructure or create malicious software, even unintentionally. Elon Musk's company xAI has introduced Grok 2, the latest AI model that significantly surpasses GPT-4 Turbo and Amazon Claude in computational power. The platform includes an early preview of Grok 2 and Grok 2 Mini, both of which will be available to users of the X social network. Grok 2 has already been tested in the AI benchmark by the Large Model Systems Organization, LMSYS. It was found that the model nearly matches the capabilities of OpenAI's GPT-4o. Currently, the AI ranks 4th overall, trailing only ChatGPT 4.0, GPT-4o, and Google's Gemini 1.5 Pro. A key advantage of Grok 2 is its enhanced image generation capabilities. Compared to other generators like Midjourney and DALL-E, it has fewer restrictions, which many have already taken advantage of. xAI reports that Grok 2 and Grok 2 Mini will be available to developers by the end of August 2024 for X Premium and Premium Plus users. Meanwhile, Google has released an updated version of its image generator Imagen 3, now available to users in the US through the AI Test Kitchen platform. Imagen 3 was first announced at the Google I/O conference in May, but it has only recently become available to a wider audience through the Vertex AI platform. Users have already begun testing the new tool's capabilities, and Google has published a research paper describing its functionality. Imagen 3 allows users to create detailed images based on text prompts. Users can also edit the generated images by selecting specific areas and specifying what needs to be changed. The tool includes restrictions that prevent the generation of images of public figures and weapons. Moreover, it refuses to recreate copyrighted cartoon and game characters. However, these restrictions can be circumvented by describing the desired character or object. Despite this, Imagen 3 operates much more safely compared to other tools like Grok from xAI, which is actively used to create content involving scenes of violence, drug use, and controversial depictions of famous people. Earlier this year, Google faced issues when its AI chatbot Gemini started creating historically inaccurate images. As a result, the company stopped providing image generation capabilities through that tool. Let's move on. This week, the British car McMurtry Sperling made its US debut at the famous Laguna Seca track in Monterey, California, during the annual reverse corkscrew hill climb event. The uniqueness of this track lies not in its length, but in its incredible twists and turns up a mountain slope. Participants tackle a climb of about 91 meters, with the most exciting section known as the corkscrew, 137 meters of asphalt at an angle of about 18 degrees. On this track, driver Max Chilton, behind the wheel of the McMurtry Sperling, not only took first place but also set 2 world records. The first was on the long section of the track, which was conquered in 28.6 seconds. The second was on the short section, completed in just 21.9 seconds, 7 seconds faster than the second place finisher. Interestingly, the car, or rather the serial electric hypercar McMurtry Sperling, which set the record, is available for purchase by the average racing enthusiast. The electric car boasts one whole 13,000 horsepower, acceleration to 100 km per hour in 1.5 seconds, and a top speed of 306 km per hour. Unfortunately, only 100 units will be produced, and it is not allowed on public roads. Meanwhile, in the English Premier League, a new offside detection system using iPhones will be implemented. It is claimed that the technology allows for very accurate determination of a player's position on the field. The introduction of the new offside detection technology will protect matches from errors due to human factors and reduce the tension among fans related to referees' mistakes. The technology is called Semi-Assisted Offside Technology, or SOT, and will be part of Genius IQ, a system for creating dynamic graphics for football match broadcasts. According to the creators of SOT, the technology is capable of creating high-quality 3D renders of each player. It enables referees to precisely determine the offside line and the player's positions relative to it. The system uses dozens of iPhones to capture high frame rate video from multiple angles. At the same time, specialized software with machine learning technology called Dragon will enable the smartphones to work together to process all the visual data collected from multiple cameras. Additionally, the software can serve as a new platform for creating motion capture models in other sports. SOT is expected to be fully operational by the end of 2024. Specialists from Sungkyun Kwan University have created wheels with adjustable stiffness, capable of moving off-road while retaining the ability to drive on regular road surfaces. Their invention was inspired by the principles of surface tension in liquids, which arises from the imbalance of cohesive forces in molecules. If a molecule in a bulk material experiences cohesive forces in all directions on the surface of a liquid, the forces are only directed inward. This results in the round shape of a droplet. The researchers tried to replicate this phenomenon in their invention. The key aspect of the transformer wheel is the smart chain structure, consisting of a chain of blocks around the perimeter of the wheel connected to the hub by wire spokes. By changing the distance between the sides of the hub, the length of the spokes and consequently the shape of the outer chain of blocks can be altered. Increasing the distance shortens the spokes, preparing the wheel for faster movement on a flat surface. Reversing the action allows the wheel to deform and overcome obstacles. In a video, a two-wheeled cart weighing 120 kg easily crosses a grassy lawn. In photographs, a four-wheeled system climbs over a step obstacle 180 millimeters high with a wheel diameter of 280 millimeters. Now let's take to the skies. The US Air Force has received the first electric vertical takeoff and landing eVTOL aircraft, Midnight, from Archer Aviation, delivered under the AF-WERX Agility Prime contract worth up to $142 million. The delivery was made possible after the US Department of Defense issued a flight worthiness certificate for Midnight for military use. This confirmed the aircraft's readiness for flight testing under the AF-WERX program. The division will be able to conduct government-ordered aircraft tests for the US Air Force and test operational and military mission concepts. Together with Archer's flight test team, US Air Force specialists conducted intensive testing of the Midnight aircraft at a base in Salinas. The tests simulated various scenarios including medical evacuation, cargo transportation, as well as reconnaissance and surveillance flights. AFWERX believes that Midnight could significantly expand their operational capabilities. With its vertical takeoff and landing capability, unique electric powertrain, and low noise level, Midnight is a promising solution for military aviation tasks. It offers enhanced safety, cost-effectiveness, and reduced noise pollution compared to traditional aircraft. The aircraft will improve response speed, maneuverability, and overall mission efficiency across a wide range of combat tasks. And what would Kik be without space? Rock samples confirm the Jezero Crater on Mars once had a lake. Moreover, some of the samples may have been located at the bottom of an ancient lake that existed more than 3.5 billion years ago, before the first signs of life appeared on Earth. These are the oldest water-formed rocks ever studied by geologists. The samples were collected in 2012 as part of one of the research phases of the western slope of Jezero Crater, which is covered in sedimentary rock. Scientists suspected that there was once a delta created by a river flowing into the lake. If life ever existed on Mars, its traces could have been preserved in the layers of sediment. The Perseverance rover collected 7 samples on the crater slope. After drilling into the rock, it extracted pencil-sized samples which will eventually be brought back to Earth for further study. In addition, the rover took images that allow for assessing the grain size and mineral composition of the rock. Analysis showed that all 7 samples likely indicate signs of water, meaning they were once submerged. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated on high-tech news. Peace to your home.